welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. My name is Sammy, and on this channel we do DIYs with signs, and there's always tons of laughter. If you think that's something you'd be interested in, then make sure to watch the video and leave your girl a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. All right, let's go ahead and get into this video.
So our first inspired piece is by Her Happy Home. She actually has a blog, so I'll try attaching her blog to the description box for you. I kind of went totally different. So I'm going to start off with this Dollar Tree egg from last year. I'm going to take it apart. We'll save that little egg for a different project. I'm going to feed some twine through the top hole. That way it's already there. We have something to hang it from and we don't have to worry about it later. Then I grabbed my nautical rope. I chose, well, I only have one nautical rope, let's be real. The 8-foot strand, I want to say it probably took like 3 or 4. I started using like my odds and ends that I had left over from that bunny rug I made. So you guys, I started, wrapping this thing, and I cut it off. I didn't think you guys wanted to watch it all, but as I started coming down to like the bottom curves, it started this slant, right? So then I started on the other side, and then this happened. I don't know what happened, but how I say, everything happens for a reason, because we add something to cover that up and it's perfection. So I'm going to grab this bunny DIY sign. Again, this is from last year. My stores still have not gotten like any of the new Easter signs in, so I'm just using what I have. So I am going to attach the bunny just with hot glue, and as you saw, we're going to cover the holes with one of the carrots. And you guys, this DIY is so easy because we're literally doing nothing to the sign itself. All we're doing is wrapping it, and then we're going to add some embellishments, which you'll see. So I glue that to the top to cover the holes. Then we will glue the little Easter part, and good thing this happened because I definitely wasn't paying attention to which one said happy and which one said Easter. Just, let's be real. All right, so now I'm going to grab some orange burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. This other ribbon is from Walmart during Halloween. I just hot glue it into a cylinder, or I call it a cylinder. I don't know what you want to call it. All right, anywho. So I'm going to grab that, and then we're going to just scrunch both of these pieces together. We're going to grab some twine, and we are going to wrap it around the middle. And this is like the cutest bow. I think it brings it up a notch from the one that she came with. And then we cut the remainder of that twine off, and then we'll hot glue that to where that little hole is in her head. Look at how that just brings it up just a little bit. I won't say the dreaded word high end. I know so many people hate that. So I say I'll take it up a notch. All right. I was actually watching Holly from Hot Humble Pie, and she was saying to do this to the carrots instead of the raffia because it brings it up a notch. Again, there I say it again. But it really does. Like, it gives these carrots a whole different look. These are the smaller ones, again, that I had last year. This year, I believe they came out with a bigger version in a 4-pack. But this is just boxwood leaves. And now, to cover this hole that I created, I am just taking boxwood leaves. These are from Walmart. And I am going to arrange them in there with some hot glue to cover that up. And like I said, everything happens for a reason, because I really love how this ended up coming out. And then I'm just going to hot glue 2 carrots to the side, and we are done. And y'all, this thing this thing is so heavy. But anyways, I hope you love it. This really is an easy DIY, especially if you can wrap this around without creating a hole. Then you don't have to add the boxwood or the carrots either. So a great beginner's craft, but it looks so good. So I hope you enjoyed this one.
All right, y'all, that was the first DIY. I really hope you enjoyed that one. It's probably one of my favorites, and that thing is seriously so heavy with all that nautical rope on it, but it's gorgeous. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it or not. I don't know. But anywho, you guys, today is the last Tuesday of the month, which means it is Try It Tuesday. This is like a challenge I host monthly where us as creators can basically kind of like dupe people that we're inspired by, whether that be on Pinterest, YouTube, blogs, any kind of format. And we just give credit where credit is due. It's a great way for you guys to find new creators as well. I did focus 2 of them on some smaller channels that I feel like need to be shared. Like I look at these videos and these channels and I'm like, how do these people not have more subscribers? Why is YouTube not recommending their videos? Because they're so talented and I'm just like blown away by their DIYs. I'm like, how is this possible that these people don't have more? So go check them out, give them some love, see if they're your style, and then make sure to like and subscribe to them. So you guys know the drill. If you're digging me, if you're digging this channel, then make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to check the links down in the description box. And with that said, you guys, let's go ahead and get back into the rest of this Try It Tuesday video.
Next one is from Wendy's Creative Space. She has a YouTube channel. Definitely go click that link and show this girl love because you are going to love her DIYs, you guys. So taking 3 of these pumpkins from fall, I'm so glad I held on to some of these because I knew I would need them. So I take some hot glue, not some hot glue, heat gun to take the tops off. Then I take it outside and I totally sand all of the glitter and the stickers off. I then am going to take some plaster by Waverly and I'm going to just give these one coat. I wanted mine. She chose some very bold and beautiful colors. I wanted to kind of keep like a rustic theme to my DIYs, keep them a little cohesive. So I'm going to do mine plaster. We're going to paint the front and the back so that we have a finished looking piece. And then I'm going to take my antique wax and my stencil brush from Dollar Tree and we are going to hit those edges. Now I don't go over the entire block with antique wax. I just want to emphasize the edges of my block so that when I put the letters and stuff, it really pops. So I love the way that this ended up coming out and looking. Sorry, I'm running out of breath here, you guys. All right, and then I just hit the sides as well. All right, now don't kill me, but I've had these bunnies for over a year. Didn't find myself using them. So I decided, you know what, instead of keeping them in my stash, I'm going to rip the ears off of them. Wendy ended up tracing out ears, so that's an option too. But this just made this DIY like 10 times easier, let's face it. So I cut the ears off and then all I do is I play around with placement. Like some of them have like an ear tilted to the side. One of the blocks, both ears are straight up. So just have fun with it. Give these little bunnies some personality, but I scored having these because it really did make this DIY super easy. So here our bunnies are. Now I didn't have the little bunny tails from Dollar Tree. I also was beyond too lazy to make pom-poms myself. So I was like, how can I make this a little different with what I have? So I have these wood flowers. These are from Dollar Tree, you guys, from Dollar Tree. And I hot glued these on. Now, make sure to stand them up when you hot glue because once I stood them up, I realized that I put the flowers too far down and they were toppling over. All right, then I'm going to create just raffia bows. I just wrap the raffia around my hand 3 times, use a piece of it to wrap around the middle for our bow, and then I just kind of, fluff it, scrunch it up to make it look more full, and then I hot glue that to the top. Now, Wendy uses these really beautiful kind of like lace, raffia, ribbon bows. But again, that's what's nice about these DIYs is you can really make them your own. Like hers looks completely different than mine, but like my look in my home is more like this. So I love that you can take the bones of a DIY and make it your own. All right, so we're almost done here. We are just going to take these wood letters from Dollar Tree, a baby wipe antique wax, and then we are going to stain these up. You can also use the black sticker letters from Dollar Tree, vinyl, or make a stencil as well. So I hot glue these to the center. At first I was like, ooh, are these too small for this? But I actually liked that like I don't know, they were like front and center and they really popped to me anyways. So this is how my version came out. I love their rustic look. They kind of remind me of my IOD pumpkin, like 2x4 pumpkins. Um, I love it. I love the addition of the pink little bunny tail with a flower, and I hope you guys like them too. Make sure to check Wendy out. Our next DIY is by Love to Create by Tanya. And I literally just found her like a few days ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how have I never seen her before? So check her out. So I'm going to use the wagon wheel. You guys, I've had this wagon wheel forever because everybody wanted it. So I was like, well, I need it too. And then it's been sitting in my basement. So thank you, Tanya, for putting this to use for me. So in her video, she actually takes her florals and uses zip ties. I've always used floral wire, but I'm like, thank you, because this makes it so much easier. And then like the random pieces where I kind of wanted them to stay put is where I got the floral wire and then kind of, tacked it down with that instead. So this is just my boxwood from Walmart. It's super inexpensive for a bundle. I actually picked up more this weekend. So I'm going to, zip tie this down. And then we are going to take the ever loving flocking balls. You guys remember when the flocking balls came out and everybody was searching them? I had amazing subscribers that sent me so many, so thank you. So I'm taking the yellow ones and I'm taking my floral wire and I am going to attach them to this I don't even know if this is a wagon wheel per se. I'm just going to keep calling it that. Now with the flocking balls, you guys, make sure that you hot glue the actual ball, and see how I like hot glued it to the stem as well, because they fall off very easily. So I'm going to put 4 flocking balls total on our wreath. And you guys, this is where creativity, put flowers on there if you want, put daisies. I mean, it's totally up to you. All right. Now I'm going to take this ribbon from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to do 3 full loops around, cut that excess off. And then I am going to grab 2 more strands. I'm going to finish my ribbon off here. We're going to fold the bottoms together, cut downwards to get our dovetail. Easy peasy, right? So I'm going to put those in an X shape. I'm going to cut little notches right in the middle of the 3 loops. Stack that on top of each other. Then I ran out of that ribbon, so I just grabbed this burlap one. I'm going to hot glue it together to make a little cylinder. I'm going to stack that on top of our bow, right in the middle. There you go. Take a zip tie, flip it around, and then I'm going to tighten it. Always make sure that it's nice and where you want it before you tighten it all the way. And so easy, right? And then you just pull all of your little loops out. Makes it so easy. Now, there was a part of me that was like, I should have done this with like the orange ribbon to make it look more Easter springy, but then I kind of like how it just all comes together and you could use this wreath so much longer. So then I just zip tie it to the wagon wheel. There we go. So cute. Look at how adorable that is. Yes, ma'am. All right, so now taking, I had 3 birdhouses exactly, just like Tanya. So I was like, yes, this was meant to be. So I'm taking Cashew by Waverly. And at first I thought this would be enough. And I was like, I'm not liking this. So then I grabbed black. This is Rich Black by Folk Art. And I'm going to paint all 3 of the roofs with the black. I just thought it added a little dimension, made it go a little bit more with the black and cream color bow I chose. But you do you. Make these colorful decoupage on them. Put some clay molds on these birdhouses. Like so many options to do with these birdhouses. So after I'm done painting all 3 of those, you guys, funny story. So my husband's downstairs while I'm crafting. And Tanya uses a wood burning tool to put the holes in the back of her houses. And I'm asking him, get the wood burning tool out for me. He's like, why? I'm like, because I need to put holes in the back of these houses. He's like, are you going mad? I'm like, are you going mad? He's like, you have a drill at your table that you can drill holes to the back of these birdhouses. And I was like, oh, about that. So you guys, you could use either a drill or a wood burning tool. But either way, I drilled holes on the back, put the zip tie through. You're going to have to put it through the back hole, feed it through the front hole, and then put it back through the back hole. It's super easy, you guys, I promise. So now we're going to play with placement. And you might have to change the direction you drill the holes in. So like this top one, I drill the holes in vertically, so one on top of the other, and then I will zip tie it. Now make sure, it kind of gets a little hard only because you have to make sure it's resting on the wire, or else it kind of like buckles in the gaps, if that makes sense. So just watch that. All right, and then my favorite, Spanish moss. I'm just gonna stuff that right in there, and I will clean it up, of course. This would look so cute with some like little birds perching up on here or something, or even like in the greenery. But I really love how this turned out. Thank you, Tanya, for the inspiration and for putting this wagon wheel to use finally. And I love the look of it. I love that, like, it's not just an Easter wreath. I could use this and have this out for however long. So love this very much. All right, this next one, you guys, this is just me. I made this. I was going off of the first DIY and I was like, okay, well, I can't just leave this out. So I just added it in here. So I'm taking a Dollar Tree sign on the left, then this Dollar General chicken wire sign. It usually has like a cow or a chicken or something like that on it, and they usually always have them at my Dollar Generals. And I traced out some cardstock, and then because I'm going to use that cardstock in the backgrounds, I decided to get plaster and distress this frame so that it wasn't like brown on top of brown. I take that cardstock and then I'm going to glue it to the back. And the reason why I'm taking the cardstock is because we need to cover the words on our Dollar Tree sign. So I just hot glue that cardstock straight to the back, easy peasy. And then we are going to take it and hot glue it right over. Ooh, you see all those grays? Yep. They came with the third one. Okay, so hot gluing that on. Now we're going to take a wood carrot cutout from Dollar Tree, trace on our scrapbook paper. My girlfriend Lisa sent me this and I love it. All right, so I'm just going to hot glue mine on. You can Mod Podge, you could use a glue stick, you do you. And then I take my rough sanding block from Dollar Tree and I'm going to hit the sides. And then because it had a texture, the actual scrapbook paper did, I ran it over top and look at how it brings those little dots out. So cute. All right, now grabbing some boxwood, I take that, we're gonna hot glue that. And then I did stain the top of the carrot only because, so I didn't want it to be like all natural wood popping out through the boxwood, if that makes sense. All right, so now we're gonna wrap some twine around to hide the bottom of that boxwood. I'm gonna do a 2-loop finger bow, hot glue that over to the corner, easy peasy, and then we're just going to hot glue our carrot straight into the middle. This was such an easy DIY. And then for the top to hang it, because it is front heavy, it would just topple over. I doubled up some twine, tied knots on the ends, and then I'm just gonna hot glue them right to the top. So easy, look at that. And this came out so adorable. This is why I couldn't leave it out. Like this one and the first DIY just go together like, you know, cookies and milk. I love it. And it was so easy to make. And you can do this same layout with like the bunny cutout, the egg cutout. I mean, whatever you want. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this Try It Tuesday video. Please go down to the description box and check out these awesome creative women. You will not be disappointed, and I will be back on Saturday.
Okay, changing up the background again. Like I said, no backdrop and against a white wall. This does not look beautiful. It just like does nothing for my coloring. So I had to climb up the stairs and I'm out of breath. Okay, real quick, because people keep asking me and I keep forgetting. I need to put it like earlier in my video, but I do have a baby registry. There have been several people that asked me if I have one yet. I have started one on Amazon. I keep kind of like adding as I'm thinking of things. So I will link that down in my description box, and that's just for anybody that is interested in it. Please do not feel like you have to purchase anything. I mean, we don't expect anything. I just wanted to put it there for those of you that have been asking, inquiring about it. I do have one, and I will put it there, and then I'll try and remember to put it in the community tab as well. And we are planning on doing like a live baby shower on YouTube. And yeah, so like I'll wait to open anything that comes from the registry. I'll do it on that live. So more information about that sooner. Okay. Let's do this. Hey. Give me a film out cheetah. Wow.